little bit late, but we're here.
Good
And so
entry.
last week, we're going to jump right into everything. Last week, we left off with Bopper's leg was hurt, and they were actually saved from yet another elimination for a non-elimination leg. And Rachel and Dave finished first for like, what, the fifth time now?
Sixth.
Sixth. Yeah, no, that was last week. Fifth was, and then yesterday was the sixth time.
You got to give them
Right?
prompts, though. They're doing good. They're doing a good job. I mean, you've got to love their spirit. At the end of the day,
Yeah, they're consistent.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
consistent. And they fight consistently too.
They're always bickering.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're always at, those two are like, they're so tumultuous and like they constantly are at each other's throats, but like somehow they still end up on top. But let's hear everybody's. What's that?
I said Bertram must be loving it because I mean it makes for good TV, and they keep coming in first. So
Yeah, he's following them around going, you can win. You can really win the race. Just keep it up, guys.
So they started, Mark and Bopper started so far behind. Did you guys notice that?
At least they were legit with it this time. They didn't try to make you think they were not too far off,
right.
Sorry about that nice little close-up. So they have to go to the this temple, and then they pay respects to the elder, or this what is it? What was it?
Like a deacon.
Yeah, it was like a
deacon.
high priest.
Was it a
Yeah,
shaman?
like a deacon, yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't really a challenge, was it? It was just kind of like,
right?
was it?
What?
Yeah, that's what they said.
What?
The temple that they went to, right? Someone said this is, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Or where Gandhi was at some point, yeah.
Or
Sure, he
was.
made his mark there. Like a
He probably-
dog
Huh.
and a fire hydrant.
I like Gandhi.
Good old Gandhi.
Like, this wasn't really a challenge. They just kind of like walked up and made their way. Did
I wonder if
anybody?
they were trying to trick people because they said in the clue, make sure you take your shoes off. So maybe they were trying to penalize people, have them forget that little task. I don't know if that,
You know what
so-
happens
really?
is that when we go to these third world countries, we give them so much money to allow us to film there. And when we're there, we're always promising them that we're going to be respectful and everything. So really, at the end of the day, they're forcing us to be respectful. And if we're not, then they come to us at the end and they're like, why didn't you're a guest in their country. You have to do what we tell you to do. So I'm not so sure that it was, setting us up for failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, why would you not want to, I mean, that's the cool part about the race is even getting to go in these places. I think it was,
Sometimes you forget that you're actually in somebody's backyard when you're racing through it.
What did they give him on that leaf? Was that
Very
food or
true.
something they gave him on the leaf? What was on that leaf?
I think that was that. I think that was paint, right?
Oh, I don't know.
it was
It
the
looked like-
stuff,
like
they did that to us in
Tabbouleh
UBS
or
too.
something.
Yeah, it's kind of like
wasn't
Ash
looking at
Wednesday
that
where
dot.
they put it over on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but that was really interesting. I didn't quite understand why that was all of a sudden.
Editing. Editing.
Yeah.
What were they supposed to do with
Edited
it?
out
I
the
mean,
storyline.
they had to keep it with them the whole time, or 'cause, I mean, I know Rachel and Dave had it folded up in the taxi with them. I mean, it was just something they had to.
Whoa.
Bless Mallory, you just
you.
lost some bagel.
Mallory.
Bless me.
Some bagels on your screen, Mallory.
Trying to keep your religion in the chat.
really funny.
Yes, and actually somebody said, I don't look too happy today. No, it's just I've been moving all day, and somebody actually did mention that. So
I think you look pretty happy. You always have a smiley face.
yeah, I'm
smiling.
happy.
The show must go on. The show must go on.
Yes, exactly. So then they go to, they have a fast forward. And in this fast forward, they go to another temple, a Hindu temple, and then they have to, it's called a switchback. Both people must shave their head. And
that was a switchback?
Okay.
There was a switch.
I just first I
Yes.
want to talk about the fast forward. It pisses me off that they put a couple of fast forwards on the game when it should be part of the strategy of the game. I say this every single time they mention the word fast forward because to me, that is the amazing race. That truly is what people should be racing for every single leg.
But at least they've upped it, Jonathan. There were seasons before this that there was like, my season there was one fast forward.
That's really
So, I mean, at least
depressing.
they
I
upped
didn't have
it.
a fast
Yeah.
forward.
It
Well,
was.
well, this is the most fast forwards I've
On
seen
what?
since season
Yeah.
4.
And it
4.
saved this show from being a total like joke because you never would have thought Bopper and Mark had a chance.
Absolutely. And but before the fast forward was used as a skill set where you could actually go in and say, are we going to
I
go
like
for
it.
the fast forward? And then all the people, the bottom feeders would run for the fast forward and all the
Right.
people at the top would run the race and then it would
Yep.
equalize the show. And I loved
Yeah.
it. I mean, when they took
It's a
that
different
out,
show, though. Different show.
absolutely. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, instead of it being a scavenger race, which is it is now, they're running you in circles, you actually run for the fast forward. And then
Right.
the bottom people that would win the fast forward would now be at the top.
Right.
that
And you're
was
not
the fun
basing your
part.
luck on cab rides and other things, which is more so when there isn't a lot of fast forwards and people have leads.
You know, and then the actual task, which is shave your head, which we were talking about before, you know, Uchenna and Joyce, that was a very emotional moment in season 7. It was probably one of the most emotional moments in the history of the race, if I think back.
But it's going to be for any girl. Don't you think any? I mean, I don't blame her. I really don't. If we're going to get to that, I don't blame her for
Yeah.
not wanting to do it.
Well,
I wouldn't
especially
see-
when
You know what? If you're
$500
going on the
on
race, you're going on the race to win $1 million. If you don't,
I-
when Victoria said, "I wouldn't shave my head," I just wanted to throw up.
Yeah, well,
But Brent and Rachel, they
I
knew
would've
they
got the same
weren't
answer.
they weren't behind. They knew Mark and Bopper were, you know, a ways back.
Yep.
They also left before a couple other teams. I mean, I doubt it took very long to get to, and they, you know, just easily made the choice to move on. So it wasn't a huge issue.
yeah, and
You know,
I
you
agree.
say
I
that
totally
so
agree with what Eric
calm,
just
Eric,
said.
You're just like, you know, oh yeah, the fast forward doesn't mean too much.
Well, but I thought what I was disappointed in is that JJ and what's his face once Brent and Rachel had passed it up, why didn't they go take it? They knew Mark and Bopper hadn't left yet. They could have easily went at that point as soon as Brent and Rachel got there and said they didn't take it. I mean, and then Rachel
couldn't they
spilled the
take it?
beans on what it was.
But
Yeah,
could
they could go.
They
but
took one this
Didn't they
year.
already
They already took a fast
did they?
forward.
Is that the rule? You can't take it twice.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you're right.
And
You're
that,
right. You're
and
right.
that is the
You're right,
same.
my fault.
That's
You're
the
right.
same rule that they've had from very start,
Yeah.
from season 1 through 4. If you took it, you can't go for it again.
Yeah.
But
So don't
you know,
dog 'em.
for me,
I
going
knew Rachel and
for it-
Dave did, but I didn't know that
if
RJ
she
did.
would have shaved her head, it would have given her some dignity on the show. It was giving her some empathy that she, you know, I love them. I think they're great drama. I think that if she would have shaved her head, it would have been a great moment for them, for the show, and for the season.
Oh, it's always a great moment for the show.
Yeah, but do you think they like it made a difference? I mean, they still finished second.
No, if they're in last, do it. If they're not in
they did.
last, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like Eric said. I mean, they knew where Mark and Bob. I mean, they may not know the times, but they had a pretty damn good idea that guy wasn't anywhere near them when they were all
Most of the
finishing.
time, you don't have that gauge. That's my point. So maybe
But sometimes you're in
this show they
lockdown
did,
together.
But most of the time, they don't have that. They don't have that.
Sometimes, but we don't know if they were in lockdown
think about
together.
too. I mean, I know that in our instances, a lot of times when we were in like obscure places, obscure cities, we would usually wait till everybody got there, or you know, pretty damn close to it. We sat around for an hour and a half, 2 hours waiting for other teams to arrive, and then we were transported, you know, by bus wherever to the hotel.
Or
So-
even more, they'd
I-
ship a group out. They'd ship
Once
Yeah,
a
exactly.
again, I
group
want to
out.
point out that the season 1 through 4 is a different season than 5 through 9 or 5 through 8, and then 8 through present or close to present. Completely different shows, completely different strategies, completely different races.
I do have a question to ask you guys. Being with girls was
That was my next
no.
question too. Would you guys have made for the guys?
you
Would you
made
guys have
them?
made the
My dad
girls?
totally would have made me. Like I would have had to do it. We talked about it before. He's like, if you don't shave that head,
See,
I ain't never paying
I'm
for
with your
extensions
dad.
again."
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, the question is, would Brandon have shaved his head if he really had hair on his head?
Yeah, but
Well,
Jonathan,
so
He acts
let's
like
go
the
around.
girl
Let's
most
go.
of the time.
Let's go around and
And that's
see.
why I got a skull cap on. Stop it.
So let's go around and like ask everybody if you like had like your girl with you, would you have made her shave her head? And for the girls, would you have shaved your head? So let's start with Louie.
Yeah, I would have had to shave her head. I mean, it's a game. It's a game for $1 million. Your hair can grow back. You can get extensions in the meantime. You know.
Would you
yes.
would you shave your boxer's head, Louis?
My boxer's head is already shaved.
All right, let's go to Jonathan.
Well, my feeling is that if you're going to do the show, you need to shave your head. Yes, I would have been very disappointed if she didn't shave her head. I'd probably stamp my feet and have a friggin' hissy fit. So, yes, I'd like her to do it. If not, this is the problem with running with a girl. Guys running with a guy is a lot easier than...
Would you shave your head?
You know what? I would. I wouldn't want to, but I
Right,
would. It's a really
yeah.
good question. I would. I swear to God. Look
Actually,
at look,
Mallory.
what little hair I have left.
Mallory, would you shave your head?
Yeah, I think I would have done it.
All right, Mallory.
All right. You know
I
what?
would have. Like,
What about you?
We talked about it before, and I would do anything. That was the one thing I didn't want to do, but I for sure would have done it.
You know what? You got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. What about Lance? Lance, would you have made your girl shave her head?
I mean, you know what? I could have bitched and screamed her as much as I wanted to, and I probably would have pushed it a little more than Brendan did. But in the end, if she didn't want to do it, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't
kidding
stick,
me?
You can't stick her neck under there.
Are you kidding me? What are you going to do?
Janet, what are you
Take
going
her
to
right
do,
off
though?
the race?
If it's the final leg, and it is really for $1 million, I get it. But in this situation,
I'm sorry. Most of the time, you do not know where the fast-forward people are in relation to the rest of the race. This was a freak occurrence that they could figure out where Mark and Bopper were.
Would your girls have shaved their heads?
No,
Mine wouldn't have.
Victoria wouldn't have. She told me
Really?
she wouldn't have done it. And I was just like, why are you doing the show then? What? I mean, why would you even
he
go
could've-
on
he
the show if
could've
Would
pushed
you're...
Danielle have
though.
shaved her head?
I kind of think that she might if it came down to it, and she's pretty competitive. I would have, she would have been a horrible bald girl for sure.
your own skull cap like
Yeah.
like Louis.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it, but I mean, she could have. I think she's competitive, and I think that if it would have came down to staying in it, I think she would have. I really do.
it's different if you're staying in it. I mean, I agree. But
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. Exactly. I think it's the situation, whether it was set up that way or not, there wasn't any reason for Rachel to do it. I mean, if it came down to a hard
Joyce, it was a
decision.
pretty
I think that would
emotional
be something
thing
very-
watching Joyce.
Challenge,
Yeah, but
like
Joyce,
a
they knew they had to do it
roadblock
to
or a-
stand.
But that's
We
my
have Justin
choice.
in here.
Yeah,
Is Justin
exactly.
in here? Justin?
He is.
I don't think anybody can hear me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
we can
yeah,
hear you.
you're in here. Justin, if you were on with a girl, we're on the question of would you have your girl shave her head?
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
There you go.
I don't
Yeah.
think you tried very hard.
I love it when you don't
thought-
have a girl and you
I was
say
just
it.
about
I
to
love
say,
it.
you don't have a girl to do that with. in
I
the
love
show.
it. I love it when you don't know the
think he tried
dynamic.
very hard. He was like, no, I understand. Like,
No,
when
that
He's-
was
He's already
Michael
he's
wouldn't
already
go down
involved.
the slide. When Michael would go down the slide, Kanan was ready to throw her down.
I would
the
have pushed
slide.
her.
Like, he was,
I would have.
Yeah,
I
well,
wouldn't
I
even
would have
have.
shoved her down.
I would
he
have
was like
pushed
doing
her.
My
everything
dad
short
totally
of
pushed
like conking
Talking
her
about
over
in
the head
Atlantis?
and
Yeah.
throwing her down the slide.
No, that girl. That girl would have went down the slide.
You're talking
I
about
would
in
have-
He didn't even
Atlantis,
try to
right?
like.
Yeah. Yes.
He tried, man.
No, there's no trying. I would. I swear to
The
God.
same thing.
Not even a question. I don't care if you're mad at me or
Kanan tried a lot
not.
harder than.
I'm with,
you're
you know what?
gone.
I'm with you. That's one of the most ridiculous antics I think we've seen on the race.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
was like the guy. He didn't say anything about I'm sure you have a nicely shaped dome. He wasn't even like.
You know,
He didn't try anything.
Well, he's always kind of placating her anyways. I mean, she's kind of like, she kind of whines a little bit and then he, gives in real easily. So
Oh, Come on,
I mean,
he's
know,
the
that's
girl
just
in the relationship.
He was-
When they're having sex, he's on the bottom.
I think a
Okay,
really good,
so
good detour for the last leg would be getting a tattattoo or shaving your head.
wasn't
I think
sure.
it'd be
What
great.
makes you
Like,
a girl?
John, you're out of control.
I wonder
depends if you're
Vanessa-
facing up or down, Justin. Think.
but see,
I
the
wonder-
problem with Brett, the problem with her is she waited based on a $500 extensions. That's what made her sound
Yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. It did.
You
You
know?
know what? Actually, let's play that clip.
She's the worst.
I'm gonna stick up for her this week, man. Who's got one?
Love that.
I can't shave my head. You want me to?
No, baby. I mean, baby, this is your decision.
I paid $500 for extensions.
Let's go. Let's not waste time.
That was the
Shaving
most
my head
ridiculous
is just
comment
such
I've ever heard.
a terror for me. I've spent years and years of trying to get my hair to look good.
You want me to shave my head?
No, baby. No. It's your decision. So, I don't know. Whatever. We're out. We're out, baby.
No big deal.
Can you imagine what Bertram must have been saying at that moment? I picked these two
Yeah.
to come on the show, and they're not going to do the task.
But they love that dysfunction, though. That's just
Yeah.
dysfunction. I mean, they love that.
And
You
I
know-
love them. I think they're great for the season. I think I still go on record. They're entertaining as hell, but that was just not right.
It was a dumb comment. It was really stupid in the scheme of things.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Mark and
It was
Bopper
the
did. I love it
shallowest
when
thing
they.
you could imagine. It's just
Yeah.
the
I love it when they
shallowest
put
thing
their
you
arms
could
around each other and went, twins!
Yeah, right? Somebody keeps on asking,
Do you think
somebody in
they-
the chat room keeps on asking if I would have made Rachel shave her head. And them, like, we could, hair grows back. Like,
But if it's two girls and you do it, I could see how another girl would jump in and say, okay, we're
Yes.
both going to do it together.
but you know
Dudes
what?
can do it.
If I'm gonna go that far and I'm gonna get in the race, I'm gonna do anything that I need to. Like,
So you're saying you would shave your head?
Fuck yeah! Who do,
Okay,
like? I
we're
would be
going.
like, okay, what else do I have to do?
I'm trying to picture you. So.
Yeah, it's like kind of. I would be. Look at. I always get told I look like Demi Moore, so I would look like G.I. Jane.
That's true.
I don't know how cute my dome is, but
Did she really
I
shave her
mean-
head for that movie?
yeah.
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 I keep thinking of Britney Spears and how terrible she looked for like 3 years after she
Because she
shaved
chopped
her
it
head.
herself, though, I think, didn't she?
Yeah, to me, more look fine with a shaved head.
Hey, wait.
She
Brittany
totally
really
did.
look bad. She really did look bad.
She didn't. She just like chop it herself one day, or I don't know.
Hey,
No, she like. We
You
could
guys are
probably
Hollywood,
start a
I'm not.
new trend, like bald women. That's great. Like, let's do this.
Let's ask the audience how many times we've actually had to shave our heads in the Amazing Race seasons 1 through present. See if they can come up with how many times they've actually had to do this challenge.
Hey, I got a question for the racers. What do you guys think? Do you think that production told Mark and Bopper to go for the fast forward? That
I was
nobody had
just
done
gonna ask
it?
that
Because that's what my personal thought is yes.
Absolutely.
Because
It's a
I
little
can't
shady
imagine
at the
they
end
would
there.
go there to it at all if
Has anyone
they
ever?
did.
I mean, I could see them realizing that it might be their only shot, though. That's why.
Yeah.
Not a
like,
chance.
Yeah.
Production definitely told them to go.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they
so.
said, I think even if they didn't give them, say, hey, no one's on the fast forward, they could have said, hey guys, the fast forward still might be out there, so you may guys want to go check that out
Yeah.
first.
Just one
Let me
That's what I
tell
think.
you a story
Hours
of what
behind,
happened
like,
with Victoria
wow.
and I. We were in Norway, and everybody was getting on a bus to go from Norway to Sweden, and every single team except for us were on that bus, and there was a bus going 5 minutes later, and I'm like, screw this, I don't want to sit with everybody. I want to go on by myself and kind of calm down. And the bus was about to leave, and they came up. One seat left. We suggest that you take it. And I'm like, no, we're going to take that. No. We suggest that you take the seat on the bus because we really think that if you don't, you're going to get eliminated. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's going to come in 5 minutes behind. And they're like, we can guarantee you that you're going to have problems. So we basically got on the bus with everybody else. And really, in short, was they didn't want to send an entire camera crew, producer, and and
But if
have
they-
the bus leave.
In this case, I think the reason they did that, and obviously it makes the show more interesting, but I think that's when the editing comes in, when they're actually taking it, because I don't think they don't want to screw with the results at the end, but they want to still have a show at the end. So they probably did lead them down that path, knowing that because we don't know how far apart they were from JJ and
Yeah,
R.
no, exactly. I mean, they
You
could
really
have
don't.
been
Well,
closer
yeah,
or
good for
still
the
an hour and a
editors.
half, 2 hours behind.
Louis,
Yeah,
what do
no
you
idea.
think? We haven't heard from
think
you in a
gotta-
minute.
You got to take into consideration us, our well-being, our safety, and something like that. You got to put us all together and keep us together, like you're saying. You wanted to go on a separate bus, John, but I mean, you only got a couple of security type guys following us around,
Well, I always,
And
whenever
as
the
far
teams
as
went
them
one way,
telling
I
out
always
JJ,
went
I
the other
agree.
way. Always.
You know what would
believed
be
I wanted
really
to race
hard?
against myself. I didn't want to race against the other teams. because the adrenaline would get too high. At least
I agree with you. I totally agree with that. I hated racing with the other teams. It was like they were running around with their head cut off like chickens. It was awful.
Yeah.
But if they're all in first and you're by yourself in last, it's not very fun.
You know what?
No.
There's many
Yeah,
times
right?
that I was on a different plane, different bus, different train, and by the time they equalized the teams out, and I had no stress getting there, where everybody else was stressing out who gets off the bus first, who's going to sit closest to the front, everyone's going to run, and I just kind of knew from watching season 2 that they hadn't learned to use the show as a scavenger hunt. So by the time they'd equalize us, we'd all be in the same position. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
someone
No,
finishes-
I was reading the chat room because I'm trying to keep up on that, see if anybody has any questions.
I would say for future racers, Jonathan's advice is terrible. You always want to stay with the pack. If you go by if 8 teams are going one direction, you go the opposite direction, chances are you're going the wrong direction. I mean, and if you're not, then you're with everybody else and you figure it out.
Unless you're way out in front, there's no reason to stress yourself out.
It's not stressed. It's I think
Knowing
common
where everybody
sense.
is? Knowing
Yeah,
where
but
everybody is?
it's like if you know where it's like look at, for example,
Well,
I
some
think
of these-
like Mike White and his dad, their season, they were in like Thailand and everybody went the other direction. They're like, okay, well, we think it's this way, so let's go this way. They didn't, follow up and ask more directions. and they
No,
were
I'm not
limited.
talking.
We
No,
did
no,
that
no. I'm not
exact same
talking
thing,
about by yourself. I'm talking about when you can make a decision on detours, roadblocks, or what now they call scavenger hunt, where you actually get someplace and it's not a detour or roadblock, but you still have to make a choice. It's better to run it by yourself, to get on a bus that's 5 minutes off or a plane that's 5 minutes off than
Well, I agree with the one thing you said, Jonathan. You did say that you always chose the opposite detour, and that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
You're not meaning that if everyone is looking for a certain thing and they'll all go in one direction, you're going to go the opposite way?
No.
Dude, okay, because that's what I
That's
didn't
what I
think you were
thought. That's
saying.
what I thought you were
Okay,
saying.
that's not what he's
Fine.
saying.
Guys, give me a
No,
little
no,
bit
I
more
get what
credit
you're
for that,
saying.
please.
You're playing the game, you're just going the other route.
Yes.
Okay, so then we go. Let's move on to the speed bump.
Another
I don't
time-consuming
know.
one.
Yeah, it
just
really
seemed-
did. I mean, it just seemed like they were like that
That
one
was
just
a
took
funny
too long.
speed bump.
It didn't seem like they were too
really
late.
funny.
Saying something bad about that
I
speed
tell
bump.
you-
Wait a second. Like,
You got to
What
paint
if
the
that
nipples?
would've
Is that what
been
you're
in
going to say?
It out 100%, 5 times over. It's kind of like in Survivor when they make them just do the task with the Dream Team. They have their own version of the Dream Team, so they know kind of where they are in how they've timed it out. So they know if you're doing the roadblock, they've timed it out. If you do the detour, they've timed it out. But if you do the speed bump, they've also tied that out.
Yeah, but that was a
Once in
pretty
while, they
time.
make
A lot
mistake.
of speed bumps usually take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That one definitely took longer than that, from what I could tell.
That one
It was
took a
a tough
while.
speed bump.
Samba, Justin,
It's not like
didn't it?
it's not right or wrong. It's just that was a tough speed bump, right?
Do you think that they
It's just
that they
time
knew that
consuming,
though, right?
Time consuming.
Yeah.
They're just becoming more time consuming. They're not hard. They're just time
And they
consuming.
were going slow. I
They
think.
were. Why were they going so damn slow? I know.
Yeah.
They look so
They thought
like.
They were
Yeah.
perfectionists. They're like, oh, we
They
gotta make
literally
this
were
cross-eyed,
tiger look
too.
awesome.
Right. He didn't even lean back, and I would keep saying, "Is that okay? Is that okay?" And they kept kind of getting in and dotting this and dotting that. And, let's go, man.
Yeah.
They thought they were.
And it's a
going.
race. Let's move it.
tough.
It's a race for $1 million.
That was so
Hold
funny.
on one
though.
second.
I loved it.
Okay, who is this? Okay. Okay, so I don't know, Patrick, are you guys paying attention to the chat room? I think it's Bog Boy or something like that.
We're not doing the Bachelor for Mallory again this week, are we?
No,
All right.
Bachelor.
I want one
Eating
fan.
bagels.
It's kind
Nobody
of
wants
funny
to
to see
date
what
me.
type of guys want to go out with her.
Yeah. Even Justin has one fan. I got nothing.
You got me, Lance.
You got
got
Michael.
me.
You
You
got
got
Empress
me.
Michael. I got.
You got
all
me.
right.
You got me,
Yeah,
Lance.
brother. I thank you.
Oh,
man.
here's a good question in the chat room. Do you guys think there'll be another All Stars?
No.
I heard he doesn't even like it,
I
right?
think
Bertram doesn't like it at all.
Right.
CBS
And
makes
I believe
him
that.
do it. Yeah.
Right.
I think that there will be a winners, some kind of winners season for like one of the last seasons of the race, from decent sources.
Wait,
Really?
what do you mean secret sources? How do you have secret sources?
Decent sources.
Oh, decent sources. Okay.
Decent.
You know
I
what?
don't-
I think that it's funny that the race can't go on Survivor, but all the Survivor people can go on the race, and the Big Brother people
Yeah.
can go on the race. So obviously, Bertram has zero power, and whenever CBS decides that they want to pull, the magic carpet ride, that's what they're going to do, and tell him what to. Tell him
Well,
what to
Don't you think a winners season would be awesome though?
Well, they did a loser season, so a winner season
No.
is probably next.
I would like it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sure you would.
With.
I won with Danielle. I didn't win with Jeremy, so I'd have to go with Danielle.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about a winter season. That just is weird. Like,
From
don't
doing
know.
it from doing it the All Stars and the regular season, it's so much different the first time around. I mean, it's not as exciting when you do the All Stars. It's more like a job. You're playing a game. When you do it the first time, I'm sure all of you guys too. It was just so exciting, and it was just everything was new and fun, and
I heard
like
by,
people weren't as
Jamie-
nice together. What's
Jamie
that?
said that on All Stars they made her work really hard. The legs were extended right off the bat for 3 days, and they really went to tire you out extremely.
Who said that?
Jamie from All
From
Stars.
ours? Yeah, it was hard.
The redheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty rigorous.
It was really
the All Stars,
really
but.
hard.
yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely more like, I totally agree with that. More like a job, like more like, well, I gotta win it now,
So you didn't have fun?
No, I definitely had. Did you see me? I loved it.
Well, I know. Well, I'm just listening to what Erica's saying.
But it was more fun the first time.
Yeah.
It was new.
I could see that. I mean, I could see that.
That's depressing.
Well, the thing is that, I mean, I think the main thing for our All-Stars was that the teams weren't, we made a couple friends, and, I still consider people friends, but there wasn't the camaraderie that was from the first, from the first time. I mean, it was just different. Whether it was,
You guys, everybody
maybe-
knew each other, kind of.
But doesn't
Yeah.
the camaraderie win? I mean, to me, that happens a lot
Nothing
on
takes
Survivor.
away from winning.
Yeah, I think, Survivor's a different game, though. But Amazing Race, I mean, I had fun the first time, and I was friends with everybody, and we still wanted to win, and we still tried our damnedest to win. And we still were cutthroat, we still, pulled tricks and stuff, but in the spirit of the game, but we were still
Ours
cool
was
with
like-
everybody.
Hey,
My
Louis.
season, ours was like the Love Boat. I wanted to gag.
Yeah. Louis, are you
Yeah,
listening?
well, mine was like the fucking
Yeah, I'm
Exorcist.
listening.
Because of you, Jonathan.
When we went into the room when we saw who was on the All-Star season, my dad was so sad not to see you.
Aww.
He was like, oh.
I love you, Dad. Man, you know
Versus
what's
the
funny?
Violin music.
We were part of the we were part of the commercial, and everybody started calling me and texting me and Facebook.
Which makes it worse on you.
You didn't
That
tell me you're on
sucks.
the next episode.
Aww.
What's that?
Makes it worse, man.
Oh, it does. It made it really.
It rubs it right in you.
It
Yeah.
sucked that I wasn't on that episode, man. It really did.
Okay, so let's move on to the roadblock. And it says they had to, spin 40 feet of rope made of coconut husks. And then they had to take these large bundles of rope, place it on this, tripod stool, and then they had to, roll, 4 more bundles. Okay, this task, I'm sorry, my fingers were hurting for them. I don't know. This would have made
There was a
shaving
lot
your
of
head
blood.
worth it.
A lot of blood, right?
Yeah,
They
well,
cut their face. They cut the hand a little bit, dude. Come on. I mean,
Come on, the guy who threw the glove, that was some blood.
It was a little
was
bit.
blood.
but,
no,
you know,
that was Art and JJ.
I
They
would've
cut
been-
their hand on the. That was on the
Yeah.
detour though.
I would've been
That
out
wasn't
of
on the.
commission. I would have gone home.
What do you mean? You're going home? Bye?
I can't do this.
But didn't we
What
start
did
the show? Didn't we start the show out and we had even amount of girls than boys, and now we're
Yeah, Katie was here. I'm not sure what happened to her.
she got awful quiet, and now all of a sudden.
Hello? No,
She's gone.
Katie actually got kicked off, and I don't know. She said she's having a hard time getting back in the room.
Oh.
And
The challenges looked really hard this week. Like
They
really
did.
hard.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
really like that looked not really not so much
A lot of
tiring.
parts to them. A lot of parts to them.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ginger
good.
task looked annoying as could be. I mean, they had to
Yeah.
do, I mean, I'm not sure what they actually had to do to clean the ginger off, whatever, but it seemed like it took a long time.
Yeah,
It
that,
looked
Yeah.
like they were fighting on the
Kinda
playground.
yeah, that was weird. I don't know what they do either.
But that was at the actually we'll get to that because that was at the detour. This was the roadblock. But I mean, like, who finished first? Ralph finished, or no? Yeah, it actually was Ralph. He actually finished that first, and him and Vanessa took off. And
Dave and what's her face finished first? Not that I want to correct the
no,
host, but
no, actually, on this
Oh,
on
okay.
this roadblock, actually Vanessa and Dave finished first, and then Vanessa fell. Do we have a clip of her falling and hurting her ankle?
She yelled so loud.
Rickshaw guy was that way, wasn't he? They told him to wait down there.
Ralph! Ralph! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hold on. Wait, what happened?
Okay.
Are you okay?
My ankle.
Wow.
She's like a turtle.
Oh, that was painful. I
I love
cringed
watching
from
people
her.
fall.
That's horrible. That actually, I actually thought that she
think
snapped
Justin's
her
sleeping.
Achilles tendon. Justin, you
Yeah.
awake there, buddy?
Yeah, you guys are breaking up a little. What I miss?
You're sleeping.
You're
What did you-
sleeping.
did
You
you
know what?
ask me a
Stop
question?
looking at internet porn while we're on the show, okay?
I can't.
Put the internet porn away,
I can't.
because I
What's
know.
the question? Ask me, Kaylani. Let's hear it.
Anyways, so they had to go to the barber. I don't know, like, there was just some weird things. They had to go to a barber under an ancient tree and get another clue. That wasn't really a challenge. They just had to go and get it from the barber.
That's the scavenger hunt part of the Amazing Race present.
Yeah.
But you
It
love.
was,
They could have just skipped that fall because it was such a joke. She fell.
Yeah.
He told her stop
Yeah, but
screaming.
They used it
Are
in
you
the
okay?
commercial.
She stopped
That was
screaming.
their,
Then she got up
big
and ran.
moment. That was their big moment.
That
Well,
was
they could have
absolutely
skipped
a
that
big
beat.
moment.
She
That was a big
a
preview for the
she-
week
Yeah.
before.
She was a tough one. Like honestly, she just got back up and of course she screamed. It hurt. I mean, it's always gonna hurt when you like have an ankle.
I think it scared her more than it hurt her.
Their packs look like they're carrying
Yeah.
pianos. They
Because she
are
also-
way overpacked. They did, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their packs
Yeah.
are huge if you look at them.
Yeah, I don't understand how people
Everybody
don't learn
overpacks.
from watching. I mean, when you watch the race and you see that, I mean, the progression of things, I mean, in general, from like, that things tend to get smaller, but then when people go on there and they just, like, say, way overpack, Lance, they just,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
but you
imagine
want
it.
12 underwears,
I mean,
man. Did you not take
how
12
much-
underwears?
Shoot, how many pair of underwear
No.
did y'all bring? My dad let me bring 2.
So wait, Mallory, let's
Two underwear.
go around. Let's go around and find out because I think everybody, like a common question that I do see, is what we carried in our packs. So
Everything.
everybody always wants to know what was in our pack. So let's kind
Nice.
of go. What did yours weigh, and what was like the primary things in your pack?
Our packs my dad weighed before, and mine weighed like 7.5 pounds, and my dad's weighed 11. And
Wow.
That's
I
good.
mean, we did stuff
That's
sacks.
really
We did.
good.
I told you he sawed the end of my Bobby Brown makeup brushes off. I told you guys that story.
Wow.
Like in my garage, he was sawing them off, and I was like, "Dad, those are my Bobby Brown makeup brushes." He's like, "When did you start making makeup brushes?" I was like, "It's not the guy. Like they're nice." I mean, he was so
That's-
specific.
that's
Wouldn't let us bring
amazing.
anything.
That
I
is
brought
awesome.
2 pair of underwear that like were not the ones that I had on when I started. Like, I mean, literally like 4 outfits, and we were so specific. I mean, my dad weighed it to the ounce.
Wow,
I think the biggest bags ever on the race were the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Those guys' bags were like, they were carrying pull around.
They had basketballs in there, right? Then they had to
They had
Blow
like
up
fill
basketballs.
basketball. They had like 3 pairs of shoes. They were like size 25 each. Like,
I-
those
I-
bags
What was
were
it? How
huge.
much did yours weigh, Justin? And what did you bring?
We
Justin's
were
bag was
be-
big.
we were better about it the second time. The first time we were like, we were kind of girly about what we brought, I think. But we started throwing shit away as we went.
Well, you knew you guys were the lookers when you were cast. That was the thing. So you
Yeah.
I did that
We knew
too.
we
I
had
threw
to-
stuff away.
It was basically a fashion show. But the second time we were smarter about it. I told Zev, I was like, "You're not bringing anything really. We're better about it the second time."
Lance, how about you?
Well, I mean, my wife, she wanted to bring her blow dryer, and that thing was huge. So
What?
that got into that. Well, the blow dryer came with us. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And she forgot her sneakers.
How much was each one of your packs? How much did they weigh?
Dude, over 50. Mine had.
What?
What?
No, we were overpacked. We sucked.
Wow.
You
over 50
are
between the two of
smoking
you?
crack.
Eric,
Oh, mine was, man. It was a monster.
Yeah,
pack.
but here's the thing. You can't see it in this forum, but Lance is a big man.
Yeah, well, I ain't that.
Lance is a big boy. That's a big man right there.
that has to do with what he
Ah,
taught.
there you go. There you brother. Yeah. Now we overpacked.
Jonathan.
I wish I had the picture to pull up that's on the fridge. You know that picture, Lance.
No, never show that, my friend. I got the ones from Zeb's room. Those aren't good.
Jonathan, what was in your pack?
You
And
know
how
what?
much did it weigh?
I weighed Victoria's in my pack too. Ours was 16 and 18 pounds, and that was a lot. I kept trying to get it down, and you got to remember we were in an earlier season, so we didn't trust the fact that we could actually run it with like Rob and Amber ran it with like nothing. And if I were to do it again, I would leave with what I would leave with an extra T-shirt and
Me too,
you
man.
know, and maybe a pair of gloves and a space blanket, and that would be it.
Like Tyler and BJ. Oh man, remember? Didn't they only run it in like one outfit?
No,
No.
they had plenty of stuff. They just got their stuff taken away because they got it last
Right,
twice.
yeah.
Oh, Eric,
That's
you've
when they
been
still
covered up.
confiscated stuff.
You've been covered up in
Rob and
under
Amber
my
did
thing.
that. Rob and Amber ran.
Yeah,
it
Rob
with
and Amber and
nothing.
All Stars, they had nothing. Rob didn't have a
Yeah.
backpack. Amber had a little tiny one.
Right.
They had like
Really?
a jacket and like nothing. Yeah, they were all about it the second time.
I loved it watching them do that.
Louie, what was in your bag and how much did it weigh? Or yours and your
Two-
partner's?
Too many things. It was around 45 pounds. It was
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Whoa!
No, it was bad. When we got to Miami International Airport, we were like, can't we put our bags on the bagging check? They're like, and all of a sudden we're seeing people carry their bags on. I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, we're in trouble. So we
Right.
started unloading stuff in Miami before we went to Chile, and I just started we just left stuff in the lobby area of the airport and just left clothes and shoes and I mean it was
That's not suspicious at all.
no.
No, just throw these out
It was
here.
awful. But I didn't get,
Look at
it's
those.
funny
Look at
the
those
things
packs.
you get rid of. I ended up buying clothes from REI and stuff, and like I had those underwear that you can wear for 16 days, and
I had those.
What?
Yes. You're watching
Who did we
yourself.
miss? I think we missed
I
Eric.
missed Rose.
What was in your pack and how much did it
I
weigh?
mean, the first time it was pretty heavy. I mean, it had to be, close to 35, 40 pounds when we started. We had no idea, though, what to take. I had hiking boots, I had
Yep.
snowboarding pants, snowboarding
What?
jacket, I had all kinds, we gave away a ton of stuff as we went on, but we had no idea what to expect. And then we actually got frustrated because as we carried this stuff around that we thought we would need, like the winter gear, they ended up giving it to people anyways when we were in cold places. And we were so angry because we'd been lugging this shit around for 3 weeks, and then for what reason? So it was, the second time was a lot less. I had like 2 like little jogging outfit things, and then some shirts and socks and underwear, and that was it. I mean, it was a lot different second time around.
Don't you
Yeah.
hate how
How much did it
production
weigh?
doesn't tell you anything? Nothing
Yeah, you
at
had no
all.
idea.
You have to.
Oh, there's Lance. Uh-oh.
He's like the ultimate warrior there with that
Lance,
bandana on his
trustworthy.
arm.
Her pack was pretty big.
Yeah, believe me, it was bottom heavy too. Yeah, it was bottom heavy.
I think mine and my partner, our packs were about 18 pounds, but like we had brought like
Pretty good.
we brought like one pair of shorts and like a capri, like a half pant kind of thing, and then a long pant, and then a tri-weather coat, and like then
How many
a few-
underwear?
I mean,
we brought
Lance,
7 pairs
behave
of
yourself.
underwear, one for each
Behave
day.
yourself,
no.
Lance.
Mallory said she brought 2. I'm just kind of curious.
The first time we wore jeans half the time. We were so dumb, we didn't know. We wore jeans on the Amazing Race. Jeans too, so we're like, I don't want to throw these jeans away. These are my best jeans, man. Like, what am I doing? I'm not giving away these guys.
Oh, jeans
Like the
on a
Cowboys.
race? Really?
We had no idea. I mean, I even watched the show. Like, I studied it, but I was like, oh, we'll just wear jeans. I'm fine with these.
What the hell is
Cowboys
wrong
wore
with
jeans
you?
every single episode.
Yeah, they wore tight jeans too. Mine were a little baggy at least. A little bit of room to breathe.
You're like, I'm going on TV.
I don't have them
jeans.
anymore.
What?
We used to, did you guys, when you wash clothes, we used to put our clothes on and get in the shower and wash with soap and then change outfits and get on and do it all again. And it was like blowing water at the end.
You know what we did?
Great story.
We brought a little bag of detergent that we just kind of like sprinkled in all of our clothing at all the at the hotels so that we could wash our stuff on all the pit stops. Like it was nice and convenient. But we had like mostly like Cliff Bars and like I mean
I brought
yeah,
a box of Cliff Bars.
Really? We
I
brought
just
all
stole
the-
stuff from the hotel every time we went to one.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got a great story.
I was loading up on Mallory's bagels.
Every time we get to a 36-hour pit stop, we would send our clothes to the hotel dry clean. So
We did that too.
Clothes would come back completely clean, and then we would sign production's name.
And that was smart
see?
because actually, you know what? We got a deal on that, but I knew actually Kanan and Micah, who we were talking about earlier, they sent their clothes. They ended up with an $80 bill. So I mean, you
And
never
then signed
knew.
it to production.
Yeah, you're smart, John. We didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I was new. I didn't know. I was scared.
Another trick we did is if you're with another team, we would, to save on hotel, we would go and have them get rooms for all the camera guys and sound guys, separate rooms. Then we'd have the hotel give us a free room to share, so you didn't have to pay for it. We would just have them charge them extra and give us a discount, per room, and then we just do that.
I'm reporting all of you guys.
You can use that on the next All Stars.
So then let's go to my notes. We go to the detour, and it's Pachyderm or pack a box. So on the Pachyderm, they had to decorate this elephant with these jewels and all this stuff, and like a headdress and gold ornaments, and transport 15 wheelbarrows of elephant dung to a truck. Or in Pack a Box, they had to do the ginger processing. They had to collect 10 empty boxes, fill them with ginger that they sifted, and then stencil the label on the box. Let's go around and see what everybody would have picked for that. So Eric, you're on my screen right now, and let's see. What would you have done? Pachyderm or Pack a Box?
I think I would have probably, having watched it, obviously Pachyderm. It seemed faster, but if I clues, I would think, when you have to decorate anything and get it approved, that just scares me. Because you're counting on somebody else's judgment to see if you've done it right. So I probably would have done the ginger one, in all honesty, without having known what they were.
Louis, actually.
I would have done the Pachyderm, but I agree with Eric. We already seen the show, so seeing the show, I would have picked Pachyderm. I probably still would have picked Pachyderm, but I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go to Justin.
I think we would have gone with the elephant. Zev's always funny around elephants, so around animals in general.
Mallory.
We always picked physical, so we probably would have picked the Pack a Box, but I totally would have loved to do Pachyderm. And cow manure and elephant manure and whatever manure is like my thing on the race, so, probably totally would have ended up there.
You're hilarious. Cow manure is kind of my thing on the race.
Jonathan, what would you have picked?
I'm with Eric. When you leave your judgment of what you're doing to somebody else, you always will get into trouble because their judgment is just an opinion. So I would have gone with the physical. And at the end of the day, if everybody was running towards won and I could see everybody, I would absolutely go the opposite way with what I was saying before. But at the end, but if I got there first, I would take the physical.
Lance.
I mean, this is the amazing race. You got a challenge with an elephant, name it, and then you have a challenge with boxes. I mean, if I'm a couples team anyways, you know. So I mean, we would have went the elephant. I wouldn't want to put it through the physical thing, but the opportunity to work with an elephant. I know we're in a race, and we've all been able to step back a bit when we're on the race and kind of take it in a bit. But to me, I mean, I'm all elephant. You know, it's just too cool.
I agree. Definitely elephant. Well, Art and JJ decided to do pack a box. Did anybody notice Art throwing a little bit of a bitch fit?
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have a clip on that?
For sure.
You want to pass the time and I'll be Dave and you be Rachel? Shut up, Rachel! You need to hurry up. Just shut your mouth. You're my partner now, not my wife. Just shut up. You're so weak. Look at you. You don't do anything, Rachel. You're an idiot.
That was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, they don't want to be friends with Dave and Rachel, I guess, anymore after the show.
Yeah. No, yeah, you know this from like.
No, I'm just guessing.
They're just jealous. They're just jealous.
For sure they are, but.
It can't be any worse than about Sandy and Jeremy on my season. Oh, it's like a straight A student losing to like a C student. I mean,
what's the fallout from that, Kaylani?
They were pretty pissed about that when they heard that. They were like, that girl is like, when they heard that, they were just sitting in the back of the room. They're like, yeah, it didn't. I mean, it didn't come off very well at all. So. I mean, I guess you got to kind of expect not to be friends if you're going to say nasty things. But also, I mean, it's a race. You're under high stress. I mean, you say things, right?
You know what?
Yeah,
you know what?
You can't hold grudges.
Nobody's giving any of the team names nicknames in the past couple of seasons.
That's right. That's true.
Kentucky.
So, I thought that was a big flavor of the race at some point.
I feel like they call everyone nicknames. Like Brinchel or Big Brother. They always call him Big Brother.
Or Big Baby.
I don't know.
I think they call it
Millie the Mole. Remember season 4, Millie the Mole? That was like really nasty.
I want to back up.
I don't remember that.
When Jonathan was talking about earlier about the the producers and nobody coming from The Amazing Race over.
What did you say?
What's that?
Say it again.
Jody, I think Winchester, she was on Survivor. And
no, Jody Winchester was on Amazing Race.
Right.
Winchester,
Amazing Race. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's a casting agent for The Amazing Race as well. And I asked her that question, and she said The Amazing Race is a couples team. And like the people that have come over from other shows are couples. If they were just to take me, for instance, and bring me over to Survivor or Big Brother, people wouldn't really recognize me. And I say that's bullshit because I go all states without Mike and people fucking recognize. Excuse my language. People recognize me, you know. So I don't.
I feel your pain, Louie, man. I'm with you, brother. I feel your pain.
I begged at Survivor season after season. I ask and they give me the same answer. Finally, they're just like, please don't ask anymore.
Don't call us anymore.
Yeah.
I called up Lynn and asked her, can I apply for Survivor? She says, would I be wasting my time? And she said, you'd be wasting your time. I originally applied for Survivor. That's how they found me.
Louie, I hit her up every season. Believe me, I hit her up every season. I don't care if I'm a pest.
You know, I would like to do Survivor, but I'm done with reality.
You're on reality TV zone right now, Kehlani.
Well, no, I like to do this. Wait. Whoa. I like to do this because it's like I like chatting about it, you know, and when it was brought to me, it was going to be a good way to get some experience hosting. So
a stepping stone. You don't care about the fans. You don't.
So the minute
no, I do love the fans, and I love you guys. Don't say that stuff.
The minute we start voting people off, you're out of here.
Don't start.
You won't be a part of it anymore.
The host is out first.
You know, you can't vote the host out. Nobody voted Probst out every time he gets involved in Survivor.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
true.
Kehlani, I want to thank you for having me on again. I got to get hello and goodbye to everybody else. I love you guys, the fans. You can look me up at Louis Stravato on Facebook and Twitter, and check out my my face page of Hans Polanski, Powlanski. That go on there and like me. That's my character in the miniseries I'm going to be in sometime next year. So thank you.
Bye-bye, Louis.
See you, Louis.
Bye, Louis. Love you. Thank you. So let's go to this classic ending. There is a I love Louis. There is this classic ending when Brendan, Rachel, and Vanessa and Ralph finish. Can we go show that clip?
That goes from 3 to 7.
Who cares?
Why are you starting drama on the mat?
He asked if there would be any penalties.
So why are you going to bring that up?
Hey,
Yeah.
let's let it go. Why is it that you guys can't get on? What's this about?
She doesn't like my sequins. I don't know why. That's the reason. I don't think that's the reason.
Just, hey, whatever.
That's not the reason. When you were in the watermelon challenge, you told your boyfriend that my ass was showing to the whole world.
It was. I can see Rachel's entire.
I don't know what I said to you that made you so mad at me.
I don't have anything against you, like at all, except for like the
You told me I
craziness
need
of your
a nose job.
I said before you get your boobs done. It just makes sense.
All right.
You have fake boobs too.
But then this is going nowhere, so we just drop it.
Okay, I'm sorry about the nose job.
She is mean. You
I
can
have to
see it in
tell
her
you
face.
that
You can tell when people are mean. That she's mean, I think.
I've heard
Which
she's
one?
really mean. I've heard that a lot of people don't like her from her season.
Which one?
I heard that her and Ralph aren't together anymore either.
Really?
Vanessa's mean?
Did
Yeah,
she
Vanessa-
I think
call
she's
Ralph
funny,
Angel?
though.
Did she call Ralph Angel a couple times on this
Yeah.
episode too?
Yeah.
That was odd. That was really
Sugar.
odd.
Yeah,
Big
gotta
one's
love
not in it.
Rachel
You know-
and Brendan, come on. She's the biggest whiner on the show
You
to
should-
date, and she is just hysterical. The other two, they kind of like putting fuel on the fire. They're fun. I mean,
Why
Yeah,
couldn't-
they're fun. They are.
Why couldn't they show him jostling on the boat before they ran to the thing? That would have been good TV, I would have thought, when they were on the ferry.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
you don't know how they kind of ended up where they ended up towards the end.
that's true.
And like, I don't see, do y'all remember the ending? I mean, I can remember when we made it into the final 3. I couldn't even speak. Like, I was so happy and excited. I was just like screaming like, ah! Ah! And Phil was like,
Justin
you
and
look like
Zeb
one
are
of those-
out. Justin and Zeb are out. Is that what you were screaming?
Not yet. Not yet. But I mean, it was just like, you're so happy and thankful. And I feel like no teams were happy at all. They were just like,
But that's
That's not the final 3 yet. That's still 4 left.
oh yeah.
There's still 4 left.
Never mind. I'll stop.
Maybe next week they'll all be screaming and happy.
Eat another bagel.
I wanted to show, okay, so I wanted to bring up the fact that, like, it's not so, I don't think so much that, like, I don't like Rachel. It has nothing to do with not liking Rachel. Like, there's other things to be whining about. Like, do we have that picture that I sent
Come
you,
on, you have
Patrick?
to admit they make good television. Stop. They are just too
she doesn't
funny.
Okay,
that bad.
see this picture of this little boy? This is hard. And this little boy is smiling his ass off.
Breaking my
He's
heart?
running across this, and you're whining that you have $500,000 in the fucking bank, and you're doing this shit.
I like it, Kaylani.
You know what?
Get
You
her.
know what? You're breaking my heart by showing that picture.
Yeah,
to
and you know what?
everybody out
And
there.
he is smiling. He is not whining. I do not like whining. I don't let my 5-year-old whine, but that
You know
little
what? I'm with
boy.
you. I don't let my kid whine either. Whining, no. Even at 2, I was like, no fucking whining.
That is sad. I don't want
You know, that's the thing is that I mean, the
Yes,
picture
Aaron,
that
it
is
is
so
my weekly
that is
Rachel
that's so irrelevant to
Well, I'm-
anything.
I'm wondering
I mean, when you're on the race,
I
you're not worried about what's happening in the world. You're in a competition. That's what it is. It's a competition show. You're not supposed to be like,
all I know is she wouldn't shave her head for $500 braids when she could have put the braids back in. I mean, that's...
Well, that was a bad comment. Her choice of words was wrong, but I'll stick up for Rachel a little bit. I mean, here they are. They're towards the end. I think everyone in everyone in this whole Nathan Rachel universe is giving this girl a complex. She's not that bad looking. I mean, I mean, come
I
on.
don't think
That
she's
had
that
nothing
bad.
to do why she shouldn't shave her head. She would have gotten a sympathy vote if she would have shaven her head, and that's why she should have done it. And just for the fact that she knows the perception of how the teams look at her and how she looks at her. She could have bought herself a little
Well, Brendan
cap.
and I'm not even a Big Brother fan. I don't even like the show, and I don't understand their dynamic, and I think Ray brought that up before, but they are winners somewhat from that season, and he just didn't push her enough. He really backed down. You'd be more stronger, Jonathan. I get it. I would be too, but eventually I understand that you can't.
Yeah, but he's a little girly, don't you think, Eric?
I think that he, like I said, I just feel like he kind of just bows to her. I don't, and they're maybe not in the relationship in real life, I have no idea, but in the show, for sure. I mean, he kind of backs down constantly. He doesn't push her to do anything. I mean, he just lets her do whatever she wants, and we're not like that. But that's not our personality. That's his is different than ours.
I think wasn't it you, Eric, that was talking about you feel like they just don't appreciate like being on The Amazing Race in general, like they don't get the show.
Justin
or was
said
it
that.
Justin?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah. No, he's right.
No, I believe that they appreciate having the shot to run the race. Anybody who comes
No
on
way.
the show is going
I
to
don't think they do
appreciate it.
that.
No way, not for
I
a
just
second.
think that they're just true entertainment.
Well,
of
they
what do.
appreciate
Yeah.
getting on a show, but maybe they don't appreciate the race itself. I think that's the point.
Yeah.
And I think
Not
in
getting
general, I don't
started
like
as
the.
racers.
I get upset about the casting process in general, that they put people on the show that have never even seen it or they're not fans. I think that, have people that at least know what it is and have watched it and are fans of it and want to do it. I mean, you're going to get much better TV out of those people than if you have never watched a show before and you just go, straight to casting because you know somebody. I mean, I think it sucks to even do that.
What
Exactly.
was the redhead who was on Survivor? Cochran, right?
Yeah.
So they put more people like that on the race. You're really going to get a different flavor for actually racing rather than making a TV show.
I mean, there so many people apply. I gotta think there's at least 11 pairs of interesting people that like the show.
True. I mean, my biggest problem is that it's a race. You have to be able to run the race. And they want to stop you at all costs to make a TV show.
Oh, 100%.
And it's okay to make the TV show, but you have to bring back that race because it's the race. It's always that the finish to the line when the teams are running that makes the most interesting. Or when, when they're kind of going for the board, for the numbers in there, and they knock each other out of the way. That, to me, is the physical aspect of what they're missing today, and the scavenger hunt that they're just sending people around and around and around until they equalize everybody. So.
Yeah, but that's, all the catch-up points is how you get that. You get the congestion is by the catch-up points. I mean, I hate it, but that's how they make it so that everybody kind of runs back together. Like, stuff doesn't open till 10 o'clock, and you're all there together.
That's great, but now on top of that, which, now they've learned how to run the teams around, so you have roadblocks, you have detours, then you have the equalizations, and then you have what they call the scavenger part of it now. They've taken out the fast forward most of the time, and what they're putting in is this go to A to B and just pick up a clue, and
So this is
nothing
a pro
happens when you
fast
get
forward
there.
statement that you're making? You're pro fast forward. That's
Oh,
what
he's
you're saying.
big time pro fast forward.
I'm pro fast forward. I think it should be on every leg from 3 to 8.
That's crazy.
It was from season 1 through 4.
I
But
know,
it takes
but
so
like,
much away from the race.
Yeah, in
of
season
it.
1 through 4, you could also do whoever
Covers
wanted to
the
do a
whole
roadblock
race.
could do it, right? You didn't have to alternate
Up until
roadblocks.
season 5, that was the way it was, and then it changed in season 6. Yep.
Yeah.
But it hadn't changed to keep the show on
I
the
think
air.
that it
Like,
added strategy by putting the fast forward because
What's
it allowed
Kehlani
the
doing?
bottoms feed him. So you should
Oh,
jump
I
deep
was
enough.
walking right. I was going into the other room. You know what? Since I moved, I don't have a light in my other room, so I had to move. But look at Kung Fu Pandas.
What
love it.
does guns have to do with kung fu?
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I thought I liked Kung Fu. I like Kung Fu Panda. All right.
How many people are in the chat room?
There are. Let me see. I think 247 people. Oh, over 300.
Over 300. Do they have anything to say to us?
Does anybody in the chat room have anything that you want to ask? Anybody? Did production plan the Vanessa Rachel conversation?
They
I mean,
fueled it.
yeah.
You know,
Fueled
and
it,
Jeff,
yeah.
that was a Jeff Probst move. That was beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah, they, with Phil, I think with Phil prompting it, like, why can't you guys get along?
Get on.
But you guys know, and we know this. You spend
get
so
on.
much time on the mat with them asking you questions, and they just keep peppering different questions, different scenarios at you, and they use what they want to use. They use what they like, and that's, they could have had them on how long?
Yeah.
Just talking to them and trying to get whatever they want to get out of them.
Yeah. Was Phil trying to get Vanessa to excuse or accuse Big Brother?
Say that again?
Was Phil trying to get Vanessa to accuse Big Brother of cheating?
That's the thing. I
She
mean,
was saying,
production takes care of that during the roadblocks. That's ridiculous to accuse that on the mat. Like, they wouldn't have gotten past it, would they?
Yeah, Phil would have stopped them right away and said, hey, you guys only did 13
Yeah.
wheelbarrows.
yeah.
But they knew that Vanessa said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure it was a baited comment, by production. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't even come up. How would Phil know? Unless production said, hey,
Yeah.
Phil, bring this
Ask
up.
him. Ask him.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Right.
love Phil. Don't you guys love
Yeah.
Phil?
Phil's a good guy.
He's wonderful.
Let's see. Who do you think is going to be sent back at the finale?
Oh, that's going to be terrible, whoever it is. The preview for next week, it says, I don't know if you have a clip of it, it shows that one team goes to the finish line, they say that you checked in first, but you didn't complete the roadblock, you have to go back and
That's
finish
wild.
it. So if that actually happens,
No,
What?
that's brutal. Yeah. They showed
Yeah,
it in next week's show.
I don't watch
I
that. I don't
did
like watching
not-
that. I don't like watching the preview.
Okay, so do we want to go around and see who everybody thinks is going to win?
What? I mean,
Eric.
I kind of... Didn't we already establish that, Kaylani?
Huh? Well, we already established
that?
we already established that. But how do you know I'm not yanking your chain?
I hope you are.
How do you know I'm
You
not?
guys have already discussed who's winning? From
It was a one-sided
no.
discussion.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Delaney totally blew it up last week.
Todd? No.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't,
How do you
I
know-
don't want to know.
How do you know? How do you
I
know
don't
I'm
know.
not
We
yanking
don't
your
know.
chain? You know what? How do you even know that
Do
I
it.
actually? How do you know that I know who the winner is, but I'm not trying to just like
If,
pull you guys
if
in?
Kaylani actually ruined it for you guys, then I would say she definitely needs to be fired as a host. She's ruining the show 3 weeks out, then
Yep, I am. Anyways,
What
so
do you mean?
huh?
Why?
I'm not doing anything reality.
All fantasy from now on.
Not even,
Yep.
not even
Yeah.
reality talk shows.
Oh, nope.
You just did Princess Right.
Not
didn't you?
even life.
What's that? Not even the life. Not even the lifestyle.
Just no reality.
No reality. You will not
Did
see
her.
me at any.
Who do you
Hit
think's
her.
going to get eliminated next week?
Who do I think? I think Vanessa and Ralph are gonna get eliminated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. And you know what? I don't know if I believe that Rachel, and Brendan win, but I don't know if I believe it,
Wait a
but
second. Are you ruining the show for us
No.
and the
Did
chat
you just do it
room?
again?
no.
what's wrong with you?
Why would you do
How do you know? How do you know that they win? No.
Who cares? You just put it in our head. You ruined the whole show for us.
No, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's not. I'm not even sure that they really do.
Well, you know what?
How old was your daughter when you told her that there's no Santa? Was she like
Right.
2? She just learned how to
6
understand what
Yeah.
Santa was, and you're like, yeah, no
Exactly.
Santa.
It was her
Ruined
first
it.
pillow said that.
Exactly.
She's like, hey, stay up late because I'm going to put some presents under the tree. You can help me.
Exactly.
And then eat these cookies.
The reality world is going to be really, really sad. A sad day if Rachel and Brendan really win.
Right, put that in
They're
perspective.
great television. But
Yeah.
if they really do win, their egos are just going to be so big that it's just. Who knows? They'll probably wind up putting them on Survivor.
You think so? I don't know.
The grand slam of reality, maybe.
Yeah. who
Right.
would only
I
Mark,
don't know.
Rob and Amber came close to doing the same thing.
What would be the fourth? What would be the fourth to make it a grand slam? It would be What would be
Project
the last one?
Runway.
There you go.
Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah. That's funny. Celebrity Rehab.
I don't know. I hope. I hope they don't win. Just because I want to see. I think some other teams have done. I think Rachel and Dave deserve to win.
I think
I
Rachel
think
and
they've
Dave
done a
They
great
deserve
job.
to
And
win, but you know what? Come
Mike
on.
White.
Ra-
Mike White
Brendan
tweeted
and
earlier.
Rachel
He
have done a
said.
great job. They've done a
Mike
great
White.
job.
Mike White said earlier that there's nobody to root for in the Final Four. I think he
Well,
might have
that's
a
not
point.
true.
I think he's
He
right.
sounds like a Kentucky fan.
Yeah, I was too.
Well,
Oh,
everybody-
let's go to
they're
video
Sucker
mailbags.
fans.
Okay, before this runs too late, let's go ahead and go to video
Dave and Rachel,
mailbags.
you could, I'd vote for them.
yeah, but you have to know Mark and Bopper weren't going to win.
Of course they will.
Hi, so this is a question for the female racers. I know that it's so far into the race, but would you actually be willing to shave the hair off of your head? You run that question kind of, do I want to go home because I didn't shave my head, or do I want to go home with the shaved head? So tell me what you think. Thank you.
I think we answered that.
Yeah, I think we pretty much answered that.
You're both shaving your head. You said you would.
Yeah, I would
It
shave
would
my
be
head.
hard
would
to hide
shave
it.
my
I've
head,
asked
too.
that to production before. Like, what do you do? I mean, how do you deny that? Like, I had to go back and be Miss Kentucky after, and obviously I'm like going out with a shaved head. People are gonna be like, wait
Wigs!
a second.
A wig.
No, I mean, it doesn't
you
look
can
the
have a
same.
different hairstyle every day.
The Amazing Race doesn't offer an aftercare program after you're off the show. You pretty much are on your own. And if
Yeah.
you didn't win, you didn't make any money. So, you missed all your work. And whatever happens to you, happens to you. And that's
Yeah.
the way it goes.
It's true.
Is
You know, I wanna
it
say-
easier- wait. Is it easier for a black woman to shave her hair than a white woman?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Maybe.
I thought Joyce looked great with the shaved head.
That's my
I
point.
thought Joyce looked sexy with a shaved head. I don't, I
my
think
point.
that, I think in general that, I think a black woman can pull it off a lot better than a white chick. I don't think Mallory would look especially sexy
the
with a
whiter
shaved
you
head,
get,
but
the more you look like you're in chemo.
You know, I'd look bad. I'd look
but I
It
think,
says-
I love that you do it, Mallory. That's the best part is that you would say you do it, and I believe you 100%. So that's awesome.
Maybe I'll be your
Wait,
partner.
let's, Eric, her father said she must do it. So whether she really wanted to do it is a different story.
You know, I would have
I
done
don't
it
think-
because
I don't think any girl wants to do it.
No.
It's a matter
you
if they
don't
would
want
do
to.
it. And I believe
Yeah.
Mallory, I don't think Mallory would even hesitate that much. She'd be like, she'd giggle and go, no, I don't know, Daddy. And then she would just, clip it off and she'd be good.
Somebody asked, do they pay for travel expenses to the finale party?
No.
Top four.
Top,
No, they don't.
top three. I don't even think they do that anymore. I don't think they
No,
even
they
do,
don't.
I think
No,
they do
they
like the
don't.
top one or something. Top
We
team,
we
that's it.
organized we organized our own finale party.
In season 6, they paid for us to go.
Yeah, but they don't do later seasons. I mean, I think season 9 they did the top 3, and I think even after that they stopped doing the top 3 and did only the
Phil-
first team.
Phil had The Ride one season, so I think they flew them in for that, the movie
Yeah.
The Ride. And then obviously Unfinished Business, they did it because that was our party.
Yeah. I mean the party was great. I mean they paid for stuff for that. They didn't fly. Did they fly the whole casting or just top 3?
top 4.
that
Did they
again?
fly y'all in, Justin?
Yeah.
Well, but
They
you guys,
flew all of
Justin and
us
Zev, you guys have like a
got
good
lucky.
following though. You're like lovable and and people like you guys. So I mean
You're pretty lovable too, Eric.
oh shucks, thanks. But I mean
they still flew us in.
yeah, but that was early on,
Well,
Jonathan.
no, what happened was we got lucky because the last episode was a double episode, so we were still
Oh.
in it.
Yeah, that's
So
a cool
they
way to
couldn't
do
fly.
it. Yeah.
They couldn't
Know that you
then
guys
they'd
were
know
out.
that we were out,
Yeah.
so we kind of.
Oh, so everyone from your season didn't get flown in? Everyone
No.
from your season? Justin? No?
No, I don't think so. I
Ah.
don't think so.
Yeah, no, they didn't fly. They didn't do anything for us in our season.
While we're on the
No,
subject,
they don't do
though,
nothing for you,
I
come
think my mom's watching, so I just want to say hi to my mom. Just shout out to my mom.
Oh, I love your mom.
Is she?
Hi, Justin's
That's your
mom.
mom too.
Justin's mom.
Hi, Justin's mom.
And your dad.
Yeah,
All
cool,
right. So, are there any more questions? Anybody want to announce anything?
Well,
Anything
anybody-
going on?
You know what I'll
You know
say?
what?
last week, I got a lot of people twittering me, asking me production questions, and so, you know, if you really want the answers to these questions, this week you can actually tweet them to
from my
me,
app.
and then I'll answer them on the air next week.
Okay. So, somebody wants to know, this is the last question we're going to answer. No, we're going to wrap this up. Favorite season besides your own?
Oh, I love season 2. I thought that was a great season. That was the beginning of the villains.
Wasn't this back when it was
beginning-
like? Wasn't this back when like a whole episode was just like getting to the airport? Like, wasn't
close.
it hard back then? It was like you guys had like payphones and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't on it, but I loved season 2. We discovered the villain because Will and Tara were the villains. We had the fast forward on every leg, and we had Cha Cha Cha, who actually walked through the entire race. They never ran, they never raced, and they came in like 5th.
Wait, what?
It was, and you know, I mean, it was just an interesting season.
I'll say I watched Tyler and BJ's season, and they are just, and now having known BJ.
That was my season.
Yeah, and your season.
No,
obviously.
BJ, Tyler's season.
They are so, oh my God, like BJ. Oh.
BJ's nuts.
Is truly medicated, right?
He's gotten weirder and weirder, man. He's a buddy of mine, but he's changed over the past few years. He was somewhat normal season 9, and then now he's just bizarro. But he's a good guy. I like BJ a lot.
He kind of scared me in Miami. I mean, he actually looked like he was bipolar. I couldn't tell what was an act and what wasn't, and I got a good bullshit meter.
He's just BJ's an act.
Okay. I just wanted
Wait a
to know
minute,
whether
but
he was
BJ is
bipolar
a
or not.
good act.
He is for sure.
So Lance.
BJ is the kind of act that like it's like shocking.
Hey,
and then
Justin,
it's
my
like,
question. Come on.
He keeps going. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I love BJ.
No, he's a great guy,
Big fan
for sure.
of BJ.
Lance. What was your favorite season?
You know what? I was a fan of the show, but until I got on the show, I never really getting on the show for me was a big deal because I just managed to work my way through and get on the show. And once I got on the show, and then I knew people who were on the show, so when 18 came out, or whatever Unfinished Business was, that was my favorite season because I had friends on there. I actually knew people who were on the show, you know, and I got to find out shit that was going on in between. So yeah, it worked out good. That was probably my favorite one.
Eric, did you say which one yours was?
I couldn't even tell you. Honestly, they all kind of run together.
Yeah.
Honestly. But, I mean, I really
That
couldn't.
should be the show's tagline.
I couldn't tell you. They all run together.
They all run together.
What's up, buddy?
They're all the same.
And Jonathan, what was your favorite season?
Well, I said 2.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mallory,
I
did you
just-
say?
No, 35's up north, unfortunately.
I don't know. I can't. I like the Globetrotters and Zevin Justin, Erica Dunlap in them seasons.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
I like that one
season
too.
now.
That's one I like.
It's transient
I didn't
up
hear my
there.
name.
It's the season.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I like the Globetrotters season.
That was my season. It was my season. It wasn't their season.
Your season.
win.
Sorry.
I'll go on and say, Mallory, I still wanted you to win because I thought that also Candace and the 2 girls,
Thank you.
Candace and what was the partner's name? They should have won because they were great racers. They
Yeah.
came back twice too. There's just certain teams that just have this makeup where they just make great racers, you know.
I want to know who Eric's talking to.
All right, buddy.
I don't know.
Whatever. Sorry, it's work.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because it's already 7:25.
All right.
So let's wrap this up.
See
Thank you
everybody
guys
in
for tuning in.
Twitterland.
Bye, kids.
Bye.